She walked into the airport 9 months pregnant, until the K9 barked straight at her belly. Titan lunged, growling, straining against the leash. The handler yelled, she froze. It's just a baby, she said, but the dog knew better. He barked again. Officers closed in. Her dress slipped, and the ground shook with silence. Beneath the cloth wires and steel, a bomb hidden in life's disguise. The crowd screamed, but Titan stood guard. And when the handler pulled him back, the dog did something else. He turned toward the stroller across the terminal and barked again. This time not in fear, but as if he knew who that baby really was.
Like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for daily emotional dog stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update.
The airport was alive with sound. Wheels clattered over tile, voices hummed beneath distant gate calls, and jet engines howled through layers of glass. Fluorescent lights flickered overhead as screens pulsed with flight delays and departures. It was the kind of place where everyone moved fast and no one looked twice. But not today. She entered just past noon. She wore a pale lavender dress that stretched tightly across her midsection. One hand rested protectively over her belly. Her walk was slow, intentional, measured. She had no luggage, just a small purse slung over her shoulder. Strangers glanced, then looked away. To most, she was just another expectant mother trying to catch a flight. But Titan did not look away. The German shepherd stood still beside his handler, Officer Hale. His ears twitched once, his nose flared, his golden brown eyes locked onto her with unnatural focus. Hale followed his line of sight, but saw only the woman, calm, pregnant, forgettable. Titan took one step forward. Hale gave a quick correction tug on the leash. Easy, partner, he said softly, but there was something different in Titan's stance, something he had not seen since the day they lost their last bomb case in Seattle. That day Titan had barked once. Today he barked again. It was low, sharp, measured, heads turned, conversations slowed. Then Titan barked again, louder. The sound rang off glass and tile. Hale's grip tightened instinctively. He glanced back toward the pregnant woman. She stopped walking. Her expression barely changed. But something in her shoulders shifted. Her hand on her belly trembled. She turned slightly, as if preparing to change direction. Titan growled, muscles coiled, tail rigid. Another bark. Travelers began whispering. A child nearby asked if the dog was angry. A woman gripped her carry-on tighter. Hale raised his free hand, signaling nearby airport security. They moved in slowly, not running, not yet, just aware. The woman's eyes scanned the terminal, looking for something or someone. Titan stepped forward again, tugging hard. Hale staggered half a step but held firm. Stay, he commanded under his breath. Titan's lip curled. His eyes never left the woman. She took one backward step. Then she smiled. It was small, almost believable. He's just confused, she said aloud, her voice soft but audible. Dogs get like that sometimes around pregnancies. She said it like a fact, like a shield. Titan barked again, then lunged. The leash jerked taut. Hale had to plant both boots to hold him. Titan barked so loud a nearby baby began to cry. Officers were closing in now. People started backing away. Space opened in the terminal as Titan's barking filled it. The woman looked around. Her smile faltered. Then she said it. I'm just trying to get home. But her eyes didn't match her voice. Hale gave one more firm command. Sit, Titan. Titan obeyed, barely. Then he growled again, louder than before, and snapped his head toward her belly, not her face, not her bag, just the curve of her body beneath the dress. Hale felt the chill run up his spine. He reached for his radio. We have a K9 alert on Concourse 2. Suspect is pregnant female, lavender dress. Clear the terminal and bring in backup. Titan barked again, 3 times this time, fast, urgent, as if trying to speak. The woman took one more step back, closer to a row of vending machines. And that is when Titan lunged again, harder, wilder, breaking the invisible barrier of protocol. His paws scraped across the tile as his leash jerked straight. Hale nearly lost grip. And the woman, she froze, her eyes locked with Titan S. Then they moved to something behind him. A stroller parked beside a kiosk, empty. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. Titan barked one final time, louder than all the rest. And then Titan refused to back down. His body coiled like a spring, teeth bared, eyes locked on the swollen belly in front of him. Every bark shattered the air. Each growl shook something deeper than noise. It rattled truth. The woman stood completely still. Her hands hovered in front of her belly as if unsure whether to defend or surrender. Her mouth opened, but no words followed. Sweat clung to her hairline. Her knuckles turned white where she clutched her purse. Hale's voice broke through the chaos. Clear the concourse. Everyone moved back. Passengers scrambled in all directions, dragging bags, lifting crying children. Security guards herded civilians behind columns. Someone screamed. Others froze, filming, but Titan never flinched. His focus never wavered. Two uniformed officers closed in, slow and deliberate. One kept a hand near his belt, the other tried calm. "Ma'am, step away from the wall," he said firmly. She blinked, then whispered, "It's not what you think." Titan snarled, "Hands where we can see them," the second officer ordered. She hesitated, then raised her hands barely. Her purse dangled from one wrist, trembling slightly. "Put the bag down," Hale said. Her eyes flicked to him, then to Titan. Then finally, she dropped the purse. It hit the tile with a muffled thud. Titan didn't move. "Turn around," one of the officers said. She obeyed slowly, pivoting with the grace of someone trying not to wake a sleeping beast. The curve of her belly remained rounded, still unmoving. Then with one shaky hand, she reached for the back of her dress. "Do," Hale barked, but it was too late. Her fingers pulled at the hidden zipper. It slid down, and the bundle slipped free. It hit the ground with a metallic thud. The world stopped. Wires, cloth, metal, coils of copper tape. A block the size of a brick sat nestled in a bed of fake padding. A tight harness had held it in place beneath the dress. Not a baby, not even close. A collective gasp swept the terminal. Titan stepped forward and growled. His tail lowered, his legs stiffened, his breath came sharp and steady. He did not bark now, he guarded. The woman dropped to her knees, eyes wide. "I didn't build it," she said, but no one answered. Officers moved fast. One pulled her away. Another checked the device, careful not to touch it. "Back," Hale shouted. "Clear all personnel beyond the gates now." Titan stood over the device. He did not move. Hale approached slowly. "Come," he said, but Titan stayed planted. His nose twitched, ears flicking. The handler saw it then, something shiny just beneath the wires. A tag, no, not a tag. A collar. Hale's eyes narrowed. It was wedged between the wires as if stuffed in hastily. He crouched low, his breath catching. The metal was scorched on one side. A number was etched into the plate. Faint, familiar. "Titan," he whispered. The number was from a retired unit, one Hale knew well, the same number on Titan's old badge. But this collar was not his. This one belonged to someone else. A different dog, a different case, a different explosion. Before Hale could process, sirens blared outside the terminal. Red and blue lights strobed across the windows. "Bomb squad inbound," someone shouted. Titan did not flinch. His body lowered into a protective stance. The woman was sobbing now, held by two officers. "It wasn't supposed to go off," she said, shaking. "It wasn't mine, I swear." Hale's radio buzzed in his ear. "Secure all exits. K9 signal confirmed. Evacuation complete." He clicked back. "We've got a confirmed device. Dogs locked on. Civilian is in custody." The bomb squad raced through the side doors. Armored vests, helmets, gloves. One held a detection scanner. Another cradled a case of precision tools. "Get your dog back," a technician barked. Hale reached for Titan's leash again. "Let's go, buddy, come." Titan didn't move. He stared at the bundle like it was still alive. "Titan," Hale said, voice lower, "we've done this before." The dog blinked once, then turned his head, and stared across the terminal toward the stroller. It was still there, untouched, empty, but Titan didn't look away, and when Hale followed his line of sight, he felt his stomach turn. The blanket in the stroller had 3 letters stitched in faded blue thread. TIT. The bomb squad crept in. Titan growled. The handler tightened his grip, but the German shepherd would not move. He had smelled the lie. He had unearthed the truth. And now he stood between the crowd and what waited inside that cloth-covered bundle. The collar was real, no frayed strap, no prop. It was scorched, cracked, and old, older than the device it was tangled into. Hale crouched closer, the smell of cordite and synthetic cloth stinging his nose. He had seen this type of collar before, thick leather, blacked-out etching, a badge plate near the clasp, still half-readable through years of wear. The badge number chilled him. It belonged to a bomb dog from 5 years ago. A German shepherd named Rico, lost in an industrial explosion that never got explained. Official cause, chemical detonation, unsolved. Rico had worked beside Hale, had trained with Titan. They had shared the same field, the same cases, the same scars, and here, half buried in wires, was Rico's collar, as if someone had dug it up just to shove it into a new threat, a message, a warning, or maybe a signature. The bomb squad worked fast. One technician set up a tripod scanner. Another ran a fiber optic line beneath the device. The monitor flickered. Looks real, one said. Too real, another replied. Titan hadn't moved. He still stood over the bundle, eyes fixed on the wires, not blinking. His tail lay low and still, pressed flat to the floor. His breathing had slowed. The technician looked to Hale. You got to move him. We cannot work while he is on it. Hale nodded and tried again. Titan, with me? Nothing. Then Titan's head shifted, not toward the bundle, not toward Hale. Toward the stroller, again, same direction, same tension, same weight behind his stare. He stepped once, barely lifting his paw, and let out a sound between a whine and a growl. The stroller remained untouched, but the stitched letters on the blanket had not changed. "TIT Titan," Hale said slowly. "You recognize it, don't you?" The technician beside him looked up. "You saying this dog knows the kid?" "No," Hale said. "I'm saying someone wants him to." A pause. Then a flash of static crackled across the radio. "Command requested status." Hale responded quickly. "Device is active. Working. Civilian in custody. K9 fixated on secondary object. Possible link." There was more. Hale could feel it now. The woman's reaction. The collar. The name on the stroller blanket. It was not random. The technician pointed to the device. "We have 2 layers. Outer charge with remote trigger. Inner layer is shielded. Too precise for solo job. Whoever made this, another added new K9 protocol. They were taunting the dog. That stuck with Hale. He stared down at Titan, then at the collar wedged in wires, and remembered something Rico's handler used to say. Dogs remember what humans bury. A whisper behind him broke the silence. The woman, still held by officers. Her voice was dry, cracked. He found it too soon. Hale spun around. "What did you say?" She didn't look up. "It wasn't supposed to happen today. Tell me who planned this," he demanded. But she only muttered one thing. A name. Gentry. Hale froze. Detective Gentry, the missing handler, Rico's original partner, disappeared after the warehouse case went cold, presumed dead. Titan barked once. The technician jolted but kept his grip. Hale stepped forward and asked again, "Did Gentry build this?" Her eyes lifted, just slightly. "No, but he taught the man who did." Then she turned her head slowly toward the stroller. "Your dog knows. That's why he barked before she even got close." Hale asked. The woman nodded. The officer beside her asked, "You're saying there's a baby involved?" Her response was quiet. "I'm saying there's more than one life here." The tech pulled Hale aside. "We're going to need to sweep that stroller," he said. Carefully, they moved in silence. Titan stepped aside, not with reluctance, but with precision. His paws barely made a sound as he repositioned himself, but he never took his eyes off the stroller. 2 techs approached. The first lifted the blanket. The letters were clear. TIT. The second reached underneath and stopped. A black device was strapped beneath the seat. It was small, wired, silent. The technician looked at Hale. "It's rigged." The dog was right again. Titan growled once, deep, low, like a warning echo from a cave. And then he sat, not as a soldier but as a sentinel. Because this time what he guarded wasn't a bomb, it was a name. Titan sat perfectly still, ears tilted forward, his entire body tense but composed. He did not bark. He did not growl. But his eyes, those deep amber eyes, remained locked on the stroller as if he had seen something no human could. The technician leaned down, tools in hand, breath slow and deliberate. He moved the blanket aside again. Same stitching, same letters, but something else was there now. A name tag tucked into a pocket at the back. It was plastic, worn, slightly cracked, like it had survived more than one storm. The tech peeled it free and handed it to Hale. The badge read, "Property of K9 Unit, Handler Gentry," and beneath that, another line had been etched with a blade, crude, sloppy, but legible, for Titan. Hale felt something shift in his chest. The weight of all the unfinished cases, the vanished friends, the sealed reports, they all pointed here. Someone had pulled the past out of a sealed locker and handed it to a dog. On purpose. He looked down at Titan, who had not blinked. "Buddy," Hale said, crouching beside him, "is this what they wanted you to see?" Titan's head tilted just slightly. The woman, the suspect, watched from the sidelines, no longer struggling. Her shoulders had dropped. Her hands rested in her lap like she had already surrendered to the outcome. "She doesn't even know," she said. "Who?" Hale asked. "The baby," she replied. "She doesn't know who her father really was." Officers traded looks. Hale stood up. "Start talking." She did. She explained everything. Her name was Lena. She met Gentry during a low-profile narcotics case that spiraled into something bigger. She got in over her head, way over. When Gentry vanished, she was pregnant. She had been forced to align with the people Gentry once chased. They used her to test routes, devices, covers, and today's device. It was her punishment for not staying silent. "But I couldn't let it happen," she said. "Not with Titan there. Why him? Hale asked, her voice cracked, because Gentry used to say Titan could read truth, not smell it, not hear it, read it. Hale looked back at the dog, who was now sitting beside the stroller, not guarding the device beneath it, but watching the space above. Then the tech called out. Secondary device is wired to transmit, not explode. Looks like it's feeding location data to a dead relay. In English, Hale asked, it's a tracker, not a bomb. Hale's eyes narrowed, so they were tracking the baby. The tech nodded, or whoever carried her. A shadow passed over the group as another jet rolled past the windows. For a moment the entire terminal dimmed. When the light returned, Hale felt like the walls had closed in. He whispered into his radio, get me the shadow file on Gentry, the sealed one. The voice on the other end paused, that's restricted. Hale replied, not anymore. The file arrived 10 minutes later, encrypted, marked confidential. Inside were 4 photos, 3 reports, and 1 letter. Hale opened the letter first. It was handwritten, from Gentry. It was addressed, not to the department, but to Titan. If anyone ever finds this, it means they're trying to use my mistakes. Titan remembers, he'll know what's real, follow him, he'll take you to her. She's the only thing worth saving. Below that, a single word, daughter. Hale looked back at the stroller. He didn't need to speak it. Titan already knew. The dog rose and walked to the side of the stroller. He sniffed once, then twice. Then he sat softly, quietly, as if protecting not a child but a future. The device beneath was disabled. The officers cleared the area. Lena was taken into custody willingly. The baby, whose name had not been spoken aloud, was handed to medical staff unharmed. But before they could wheel her away, something happened. The baby reached out. Tiny fingers curled toward the dog's ear, brushed it. Titan did not flinch. He leaned closer. And then, for the first time in hours, he closed his eyes. The collar sat on Hale's desk now, cleaned, polished, framed. The nameplate still bore the scorch marks from the wires, but the badge number glinted under the station lights. Beside it lay the printed photo from the shadow file. Gentry, holding a newborn, wrapped in the same blanket they had found in the stroller. 3 stitched letters peeked out between his arms. TIT, the photo was time-stamped 2 months before Gentry vanished. Everything made sense now. The baby had been placed into protective care under a special guardianship order. No name was released to the media. No charges were brought against her. The charges were for the men behind Lena, men Gentry had spent years trying to bring down. Titan was the key. Every detail he had caught, every bark, every paw placement, every refusal to leave his post, had stitched the case together. What humans missed he had read, not with logic, not with evidence, but with instinct and loyalty. Weeks passed. Reporters called daily. Stories ran on every major outlet. Bomb dog saves baby, K9 breaks trafficking ring, German shepherd stops attack, but none of them told the full truth. Hale kept those details locked up, just like the photo. Titan did not care for stories anyway. He cared for routine. He walked the same route each morning, sat beside Hale at roll call, checked the scent boards with practiced ease, and once a week he returned to the medical wing of the station. To her, the baby, she had a name now, not one from Gentry, one the department gave her, Hope, no middle name. Just that Hope. She lay in a portable bassinet wrapped in the same lavender blanket. When Titan entered the room, her eyes always followed him, not the nurses, not the noise, only him. On that last day before the state completed the transfer to a permanent guardian, something happened. Titan walked in. He sniffed the air, ears twitching, eyes alert. Hope giggled. Then she made a sound, soft, gurgled, almost too faint to catch, but Hale heard it. He knelt beside her, hand on Titan's back, and whispered, say it again, and she did. Tata. It wasn't full speech, not yet, but Hale swore it was her first word, and Titan's ears perked up. He leaned closer. Hope reached for his ear, same one as before, and as her tiny hand grasped the fur between her fingers, Titan closed his eyes again, same as the moment she first touched him. That night, Hale sat alone in the precinct lounge. The collar sat on the table in front of him. The case was over. Devices had been dismantled. The network Lena had feared was being unraveled across 3 cities, and the baby, Hope, was heading toward a new life. But the part Hale could not shake was this. Titan had known before anyone, not just that something was wrong, but that someone needed him. He had stared down explosives, dug up the truth, and led them to a child destined to be forgotten. And now she would never be, all because of a bark, a stare, a dog who refused to sit down when it mattered most. That next morning, Hale clipped on Titan's leash. But this time, the vest was different, not marked with K9 detection, not explosives. This vest read, Guardian, and Titan wore it proudly, As they left the precinct, reporters asked again, will he retire now? But Hale only smiled. You don't retire from family. And the final image, Titan lying quietly beneath the same stroller in the corner of the room, Hope sleeping above him, same blanket. Same badge number stitched now onto the side pocket, and when someone walked too close, Titan opened one eye and waited, because sometimes the bravest heart doesn't chase danger, it protects what the world forgets. If a dog saved your life, would you even know it?
Dogs truly are the most loyal companions in our lives. What did you think of this heartwarming story? Let us know in the comments. Like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for daily emotional dog stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Click here to watch the next story of love, loyalty, and the incredible bond we share with our paw-some friends.